Appreciate being able to be here and share with you all. This is Memorial Day weekend, and I do want to acknowledge that most of the folks that I know that have lived in Portland forever have been out this weekend putting flowers out on the, in the cemeteries where their family is resting in peace. Yes. And I come from a family in which every generation has been on active duty for every war since the French and Indian War. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. And we're all peacemongers. It was done from a sense of duty, a belief that because people were being called up, we needed to go too. The members of my family needed to go to be supported in whatever way. And they all played entirely different roles. 2 or 3 were medics, 2 or 3 were instructors, 2 or 3 were in the infantry, slugging through the winter. But every one of them went out of the sense that there was a need to be of service, in service with the people who felt committed to what was going on. And then they came home and did everything they could to prevent another war. My mother was a flight instructor during World War II in the Navy. Wow. If you saw the movie Top Gun, she had Charlie's job. Back in the war. Her mother, as some of you know, spent over a decade in India working with Gandhi. My mother was born there while Gandhi was doing it. Both of them knew that they were working for peace. But what Gandhi knew that unfortunately most of the people who run governments don't know is that the greatest power on the planet is not weapons. It is love. Gandhi knew that if people could embody this power and be this power that we call love, that everything that was unlike love would come up and say, "Are you sure?" And if you held on to it, it would dissolve. And that's what Gandhi experienced for decades. From the kings in South Africa, from the 20s through the 40s in India. And that's what my grandmother learned from him, along with a bunch of other things. Unfortunately, I had to spend some time with her growing up. And that was wonderful for me. So, at home with my mom, it's about defending ourselves against the Soviet Union. And on my grandmother's college campus, it was, how can we be more loving? How can we be the love that is everywhere? And then I come home and I talk with Mom about it, and she'd say, "Yeah, but my daughter, when it walks off, they turn a big stick." I went, "Okay, dear." Fortunately, for the last month she was on the planet, she wasn't in that mindset, and we were able to be in that love together. And it was Mom. So if love is more powerful than all these weapons, what is this power? And what do we do with this power? The title of my talk is Power for What? This power is something we think of as divine quality. Charles Fillmore and his teacher, Omnipotence, saw it as a quality of power in us. The power that is. When we're in unity, we say there is one power, one principle. Yes. Working in my life and in the universe. And that power is God. And I shifted around to say the omnipotent good. Yes, the omnipotent good Omnipotent, that doesn't mean I'm more powerful than you are. That's henotheism, in case you care to know. To say my God is more powerful than your God. And a lot of the Old Testament actually kind of deals with that, you know, Jehovah and Baal and all of that. But it's not that. It's that there is only one power in all the universe, and that power is what we call God, and that power is good. Working for good in and through and as us, as well as for each of us and all. Power for good. What is good? Well, good is anything that feels really good. You know, we used to say, well, I'll pray for your highest good. And I go, I'm not sure I want that. My highest good, what is that? That's some abstraction somewhere out there, right? Oh, but strawberry shortcake in the June afternoon. Watermelon. A walk on the beach when it isn't windy. A walk through the woods when it isn't muggy. Those are good. So I think what we're talking about when we say our highest good is what feels most good to us. Truly most good. Well, most of us would say peace on earth. Oh, I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to say the most good I can imagine, the best good I can imagine is having earth and heaven come together in one. Which is what the book of Revelation is actually saying. The old earth passes away. The old heaven passes away. And the new heaven and earth emerge as one. And the Course in Miracles makes this quite clear, that it's no longer the idea that we have an earthly life and a heavenly life. It's that all life is this good, this power, this beingness, this love made manifest in us, through us, as us, for us, and for all beings across all space and all time. Can you even grasp that? I know it's kind of too much, isn't it? But I listen and watch and read a lot of stories of people who have experienced their bodies flatlining, their brains and hearts flatlining, and then they come back and everybody goes, wow. And then they're very quiet for that, usually because they're afraid to tell people how marvelous it was while they were flat. So we call these near-death experiences, even though they've actually died. But they came back, so we call them near-death experiences. There was a time in our culture where the only one who could ever have done that, well, there were two, Lazarus and Jesus, right? They were the only ones that ever died and come back, as far as people understood. But guess what? Right now, in this country, the estimate is that close to 15% of everyone has had an NDE. That's 4.5 million people. Actually, that's 45 million people. Excuse me. 45 million people in this country have been clinically dead and returned to tell the story. That's amazing. Power for what? Power to overcome death. Power to experience heaven and bring heaven into our lives now. We have that. It is really what we truly are. I'm not suggesting you go out and have an NDE. Sometimes the before and after are not fun. But I know some of you have experienced having a hardship and have experienced some interesting things as a result. And some of you are bringing the love that you felt in that state into your life every day. Because when people have that experience, it's all over the map. If they grew up Hindu, they see Krishna or Rama or someone like that. If they grew up Christian, they see Jesus or angels or someone like that. And if they grew up atheist, they see the universe. It's fascinating. But what they all experience is the marvelous state of being in which they know they are completely and absolutely, without any condition, totally loved, appreciated, welcomed, embraced, supported, encouraged, all the things we wish we could feel. So when I think of heaven, that's what I'll focus on. Living in a way that not only I, but everybody gets to feel that total unconditional acceptance. And I know that's a huge part of the value of this particular church community, to aim for that when they're here. Right? We aim for unconditional acceptance of each other, embracing each other in our differences, and supporting each other in our spiritual development. That's what unity is about, and that's what Unity of Beaverton is about. And we all have the power to do that, even if we don't necessarily think I can get away with doing that. Literally, we do. We are that power of love. We are the power to bring about the highest and best good, the most deliciously wonderful heavenly good that we can imagine for ourselves and for everyone around us. And that's why we light these candles and we hold this light with each other, because in that moment we are being that power and we are knowing the truth, which is the step to get into feeling and being the power. Understanding that what I have been seeing is not necessarily true. But what I know, there is only one presence, and that is good. There is only one power active in my life and in the universe, and it is good. And it feels like love. And it makes everything holy, always. Everything is holy now. Everyone is divine now. No process, no illness. In fact, when the Fillmores were learning to embrace this path, Merle became her inherited TB, which is how they got on this path. But as they began working with it, they realized that when they were in that place of knowing this love and this good and this peace, when they could feel it, then whatever they stated to be true was their experience. We call that making it plain. We forgot to tell you to turn it off. There's another kind of power. The power of communication. But what Myrtle and Charles discovered, you know how you began to feel as we were seeing home in them? That feeling of connection, that feeling of beauty and prayer and connection with all that is in each other. When they began to move into that state, they could begin to allow that power to be their experience. Allow that power to be expressed in and through them. Because we are here to experience and express all that God is. Now, how is that so? Well, if you grew up in a traditional, I'm going to say religious tradition based on the book, whether it's Christian, Jewish, or Muslim, doesn't matter. You were taught there's a big guy out there and he made all this happen and he created us. Well, that doesn't work after a certain stage in spiritual development, because you realize there can't be this infinite only beingness that is power and presence if there's a being out there that is my creator. It just doesn't work. So what's really going on? When we sing the peace song, every different church I go to has a different set of words. And the gal who wrote it originally is furious. You should sing my words. But the thing is, times have changed since she wrote that song. And we're all discovering new things. So in one of the churches that I sing that song, we don't say with God as creator. We don't say God is our father, which is what she did first. She wrote, God is our father, brother is all we love. I'm wearing a skirt. I know a lot of you aren't wearing skirts, but still, I don't think I'm a brother. And I understand why in that time and place that was the language. So a lot of people have changed it to family, right? And that's what we sing here, family. And some people have changed it from creator or father to center. And in fact, in one of the churches I sang this song in with other folks, it's with love as our center. Isn't that? We are family. With love as our center, we are family. So when I can feel that connectedness, when I can know that truth, that love is the center out of which we are all emanating. We are not created by something out there. We are that creative power unfolding through and as us. We are each the individualized expression of that love, of that power, of that beingness. We are that. I'm the cell on the tip of the finger, right? I'm the little bit of sun ray on the sun that is the source of all. Each and every one of us is. Which means if we allow ourselves to relax into it, we can feel how interconnected we are. We're all the same stuff. The technical word is substance. The physical word, the physics word is quantum field. All the same. We are that. And so whatever power is bringing that about and shaping that and ordering that, whatever intelligence is working in the universe, and I love that the Webb telescope is showing us that it's all orderly and not chaotic, right? We were taught the wrong things in school. Anyway, it's all orderly. There's this marvelous intelligence at work throughout everything, including right here and including right here. So when we say divine order, which was what I was going to talk about last week in another church, when we say divine order, we're really saying the presence of the divine intelligence is working in every moment, everywhere, which is what we are saying when we say there is one power, one presence working in my life in the universe always. Yes? Yes. One power, a power for good. And the good is what feels really, really fabulously wonderful to each and every one of us. Because what is really good for each of us must be good for all of us. I had to learn that one the hard way. Most of us women were taught to take care of everyone else regardless of ourselves. Yeah. And I went through a breakdown of the body. It's a result of doing that. And I had to stop and take care of me. Oh my goodness, how do I do this? How do you take care of yourself? I know how to take care of everybody. How do I need to take care of myself? And then I had to deal with the people who were upset because I had stopped taking care of them. Because I couldn't anymore, right? And so I learned slowly, it took a long time, almost a year, to learn how to begin to take care of myself. And one of the things that I learned, I picked as a water pitcher and a glass. How can I fill your glass if I don't have any water in my pitcher, right? I gotta keep this full to give you some water, right? And people began to get it. And in the process, what I learned to tell myself was what is really good for me has to be good for everyone around me. Because if I'm healthy and well and strong and in my center, then of course they're going to be much better off. I may not, right? So if what is the one power and the one presence is working for my best and most numbing and wonderful good, then it's doing that for all of us, always. And I have not only the right, but the responsibility to bring about heaven in my world as well as I can. Moment by moment by moment. To make my space as beautiful as I can make with the resources I have. To clear out any mess or chaos or garbage that has accumulated, which is not divine order. To allow them, which is my good, that divine order. To allow myself to be fully rested before I get up in the morning. So I can experience that my day is good when I get up in the morning. Because that's what we're here to do. That's what this power is. That's what it's for. And that's what I invite everyone here to adopt. As you're operating this one power, working for my good and the good of everyone, so we all may experience heaven on earth. Because that's, may thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Right? That's what we're being asked to do. That's what that prayer, 2,000 years of people reciting that prayer, not having any idea. Oh, heaven, here, now. That's what we're being asked to do. Can we do this? You're willing to give it a try this week? Maybe this month. I'll be back in a month. We can talk about it again. Thank you so much.